Hi, Jana. Again, at the WAPI webinar, WAPI community, we will speak about marketing, sales, about Amazon, and I'm very, very glad to see again Jana with me here. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me again, guys. It's always a pleasure.
We're glad that you are with us today. For those who doesn't know, Jana is a professional translator and also the founder of ELT Translations. She is very passionate about her work. She has had over 4 years of experience with various 6, 8 figure Amazon sellers. Everything correct, right?
It's YLT, just one
While
little,
you
yeah.
pronounce it
It's
YLT.
Y, yeah, because that stands for Your Listing Translations, actually. So that's
Okay, now I'll
the
remember.
acronym for,
Why?
yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And me, I'm Alex Fridman. I am founder and CEO of company WAPI. We're helping you with all the operations all over the Europe, 27 countries, warehouses in every country, fulfillment, delivery in every country, delivery from China, customs clearance, a lot of difficult things. We just do it for you, and we leave you just with the marketing and with research and the development on the product, and all together we can grow the sales of your company like boom to the moon. So yeah, tell us how are you doing there? What has changed since our last webinar? Do you have any news in the company or in the market, in the field, what you're doing?
Yes, actually. So we've been doing like literally like the two previous months have been like two best months ever since we started, not only this year.
Mhm.
So I could definitely see that a lot of people started selling on Amazon. I think there's like a lot of increase and in people who are very interesting in pivoting and changing their lives, just starting selling on Amazon due to all unfortunate circumstances. I even got like a LinkedIn message from a pilot, and he asked me like, "Hey, Anna, so how do I get started?" Like my friends like told me about this Amazon business. They're running some Amazon businesses. I've seen a lot of people buying Amazon businesses as well. Like some of my friends that help you make an exit from an Amazon business said that their business has been like basically blooming. So I think like what's going on with Amazon is pretty good. We've also had such an increase in inquiries for people selling on international marketplaces, a lot. I think people just really want to maximize the value of their business and just maximize and scale as much as they can. Especially now when we are in Q4. And I mean, this Q4 is just like off the hook, right?
Right.
And yesterday there was 48-hour Prime Day. And what I noticed is that nobody actually significantly decreased their pricing, which is quite interesting because I think that people don't want to run out of stock. This is, number one fear and number one rule, like never run out of stock, especially in Q4. And especially because we're so close to Black Friday. I mean, it's only like a month and two weeks away. And then after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but at the end of November, we have the Christmas in a month. So I think a
Mhm.
lot of people are very afraid to not get stock back in time. Also, like typically what Amazon does is like they don't let you get new inventory like in their warehouses anywhere between mid-November till end of December, just because they don't want to be overcrowded and just
Right.
unable to fulfill that. So we'll see what happens this year. I think it might be that this year what is going to be like even more severe because like with all of these events lining up. So yeah, I just think that this year has been just crazy, and like you cannot literally just know what's gonna happen because it's so unpredictable. But definitely, what I would always suggest like sellers to do is like never lose your ranking for your keywords, and don't try anything crazy like in your keywords in your PPC campaigns. Just if you were doing something like for 6 months constantly and that's been working for you, just
Mhm.
keep doing that. Excuse me. Don't go all crazy with your PPC campaigns, changing like your phrases to exact and like doing any changes like last minute, or don't just like drop your keywords that you were ranked for and just try to, like put some other keywords. Just like whatever you're doing, just pursue doing that and don't change anything. I know people just go crazy last minute being like, wait, I haven't done this. And there's like this, Q4 panic. But I think that, people should just, stick to what they're doing. If it's working, just continue doing that and never, ever stop your PPC campaigns. Of course, number one is don't, never be left out of stock. But even if you're making like 3-4 sales a day, just like make these sales constant and just go with that, and that's going to be fine. And don't worry about, like changing anything last minute. That's a really, really bad idea. And as I said, like, ever since we talked last time, there's a new marketplace surfaced up in Amazon universe, and that's Sweden. Amazon has been announcing that for a while, and they just announced it like a couple of months ago. And I'll be talking about that more today later on. It should be very, very interesting. And we have some other news regarding international marketplaces and new opportunities, which is something that I will be talking about today. Definitely, we have to seek out for new opportunities because, as I said, a lot of people are starting to sell on Amazon, and it's going to be very crowded space, and everybody would want to go to the US marketplace because it's the biggest marketplace, and everybody sees that as like an opportunity to earn a lot of money. But I just think that this is where you should look for international marketplaces and see what else you could do in Europe. I have some really cool numbers and really cool facts about what happened to European marketplace, how it escalated immensely, especially Italy. And I think, why do we buy where and how has been changed, like, this year, like for 80% of the people. And I think this is something that we have to take into consideration when thinking about like, okay, so where do I take my business? Like, what's the next level I could do? And you said that most of your clients are based in Europe and they say like a pan-European. And I just think that, like once you register for the pan-European program, you should just go and grab like every opportunity you have, because now is a really good time to start thinking about your expansion in, let's say, Q1. I think it's a really good plan to start next year with fresh and with something new.
Okay, super. So now just we are continuing and going into Q4. No changes, no strategic changes in Q4. No, now what we have, we sell it. And then we start to think how to grow in Q1 of 2021, right?
Yes, and also one very, very important thing, whatever you do, don't go black hat. I know a lot of people here like, oh, I want to try this. I've heard that this guy's done it, blah, blah. But I've heard, like yesterday, I talked to one of amazing experts, Christina, and she told me that one of her friends got a penalty for $25,000 from Amazon. And I think that they're being more and more strict just because everybody thinks they can sell on Amazon and everybody thinks that they can surpass the system. I think they're gonna get like fines are gonna get like, crazy expensive. So whatever you do, if it's not working for you right now,
will you share with us what was it for 25,000?
It was something about logistics.
Logistics. Okay.
Yeah.
Black hat.
Yeah, because I think he wanted to the shipping, it was something about the shipment, like he had more than he was allowed and he didn't label that or something like that. He would just wanted to it was something connected between like the shipping and the warehouse. I think he had like more than allowed, or they were not that good quality, but he still wanted to get this delivered. And he knew that Amazon didn't check, I don't know what part of whatever. And this is like how he also proceeded doing that. So, even with that, people are trying to get away with, and people, some people do, but maybe you will be the one who has to pay $25,000. And then are you even going to make that much of a profit in order to, cover your expenses that you have to pay for fine to Amazon? I mean, you just, just don't go there.
Absolutely. So don't go there, and it's better use WAPI logistics service.
Exactly.
So that
Yeah,
then you don't have the fines like this big. Okay, Jana,
exactly.
let's come to the topic. What you have prepared for us today? So
Sure.
we
So I wanted to so last time I talked about basically like overall like basically everything. I touched like on everything, and I just thought it was a good idea to go like a little bit more in depth in the international marketplaces and what are the new opportunities for you, and talk a bit about new marketplaces, which is something that I've seen that a lot of people are very interested in. Wherever I talked about this, this topic, I got like tons of questions, and I thought it might be very useful to share that as well with your community. Okay, cool. I can see my slides. So Alex, you're in charge of my slides because I'm on my phone and I cannot. So I'll just tell you we can go to the next slide, and that's it.
okay.
So basically, like what we have right now, the situation in international marketplaces is that, oops, okay, that the Germany in Europe, we're talking about Europe, is the biggest marketplace. I like to call it a five-star marketplace because all of the other countries that don't have their own Amazon marketplace, they
Mhm.
get the buyers get redirected and they have to purchase items from Germany. So definitely you'll get access to more people than the ones in Germany, which is also quite sufficient. And a very interesting thing is due to COVID, the VAT for Germany is reduced to 16% from 21, and it's valid till the end of this year. Maybe the situation next year is not that good. Maybe they prolong this, but this is very good when it comes to taxes and registering your company. I know it's kind of pain in the ass because like it takes forever to get the tax registered in Germany, but I think this is definitely something that you want to consider. Also, very important problem that we're gonna have at the end of this year is Brexit. So if you want to do UK, you don't want to do your fulfillment in the UK like using the FBA warehouses because Amazon is not going to deliver your products throughout the rest of the pan-European marketplaces because UK is not going to be part of the EU after December 31st this year. So a lot of sellers who are starting to sell right now or who already have their inventory UK, I would suggest that they move it and relocate it to Germany because Germany is definitely going to be part of the EU for a long time. It's like one of the main members of it. So you're definitely safe if you move all the inventory to Germany and their warehouses over there. I know that a lot of people think the UK is the biggest marketplace, and of course it's English, so there's not a big language barrier. But I also think that, especially right now after Brexit, UK is definitely not advised as the marketplace to begin with because then you will just when you go to Germany, you go to also to France, Spain, Italy, the Netherlands, now Sweden. Like all pan-European countries are going to be open for you, and if you go to UK, they won't. So that's something to really consider. And whatever you do, and if you haven't started selling internationally, just make the plan. Like don't just go like, I'll be here, I'll be there, like everywhere. Just make a business plan because things are changing, and now when you make a mistake, it's gonna cost you a lot of time and money, definitely. So UK is a good marketplace, but as I said, in light of recent events for Brexit, I would not advise going there, like being your primer and your first marketplace to sell in Europe. Um, we have France, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands. The Netherlands have been quite a disappointment for a lot of people, even though it started well as like a very interesting new marketplace, like the newest one, like after, I mean, the four countries, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, have been there for a while. And then, the Dutch marketplace popped up last year. And we've had so many inquiries for the Dutch marketplace. But the problem was that out of some reason, Amazon decided not to roll out PPC for this Dutch marketplace. And that's why a lot of sales, haven't seen, some of them haven't seen even like a single sale. I think I mean, they just, it was scheduled for the end of this year, the PPC rollout for the Dutch marketplace, but I think it's definitely pushed back to 2021. So we're still gonna, wait and see what happens with that. I still think it has a really good potential, but without PPC, I mean, basically, not much is going to happen, even if you have like optimized listings. And Helium 10 has just recently rolled out the keyword research for Dutch marketplace. And the being like the only tool that has that, it's still not working perfectly. So if you want to do the Dutch marketplace, I would still stick to Google AdWords Keyword Planner or Brand Analytics, definitely, and not using the usual software tools you use for other keywords, definitely. Apart from Europe, of course, we have Japan, Mexico, Canada, we have UAE, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Singapore. I mean, there are a lot of marketplaces that Amazon is really, supporting you and encouraging to sell on these marketplaces.
Mhm.
And I think that, I mean, of course, they want to take, they want to earn money on you, definitely, but they want you also to earn the money. And I think it's definitely very interesting to go also outside of Europe, especially, I mean, Japan. It's like Japan is as big as Germany. So it's basically, after the US, it's like sharing the second place. And
Mhm.
PPC in Japan is very, very cheap, but you have to bear in mind that not every product is good for Japan. I mean, from my experience, like most of the US bestseller products work well in Europe. They're also gonna be selling good, but this doesn't have to mean that you're gonna, have a winning product in the Japanese marketplace. But what I would recommend, and like all people, like I think a lot of people like forgot that you can do a lot of basic things. Not yourself, maybe your VA can do it, but you can do that for free. I think people just gonna turn to like, okay, what software do you use for product launch? Like, what tool do you use for product research? Blah blah. Like, I think for Japan, what for instance you could do is you can go to Facebook, you can find some expert groups like with Japanese people, and you can just ask them like, look, what do you think about my product? Why would you buy? Why wouldn't you buy? You can get some like really good feedback. And I know a lot of people who do product research, they would go and like, if you're in I don't know, if you are in selling something for architecture or home decor, you can go to a group where you have, I don't know, like architecture lovers or architectures or interior designers, and you can like ask them like, look, like, would you buy my product? Like, or can you tell me something more about my product? Why is this good? And you can like learn about the benefits of your product that you maybe not, be able to think of from the people directly from that niche. So I think that's a really good way to do it that way, especially nowadays when people really want to, save money on a lot of things and invest in their business. I think there are a lot of things that you can actually do yourself or are free of charge and learn a lot of things that way, definitely. Can we go to
Absolutely,
the,
absolutely correct. I was just on Monday. I had a webinar with the marketing specialist. His core knowledge is not in online, but in general in marketing. And we were
yeah,
discussing absolutely the same thing, that when you want to go with your product to the different country, don't think that you can understand by yourself people who live there. Just go online, find the people from the community and ask them, how do you like my product? Will you buy?
exactly,
Like everything what you
exactly.
were saying right now was just a copy paste from what I was talking about on Monday. It's
Yeah,
100% correct.
yeah,
100% correct. Like, don't imagine by your heart, but ask people, find a focus group. We have the internet, we've got Facebook. You can find these people, talk to them, and you'll find a lot of new things for yourself that you even couldn't imagine. Because even cities, I'm sure cities in Japan will give you different
oh
opinions.
yeah,
Like,
definitely. Like regions, I mean, if
yeah,
you go to Germany and if you talk to someone from Berlin and if you talk to someone from Stuttgart, it's
yeah,
like, heaven and earth, like a difference. It's like people prefer different things, people speak different
absolutely.
dialects, it's a completely different culture. And so you really have to know who you're selling to. And I know a lot of people don't even have a business plan when like, selling internationally, like, what should I do? They're just gonna go like bam, 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 like I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But don't be lazy, honestly. Don't be lazy and do your homework on these things, because you're gonna save a lot of time afterwards, and you're not gonna be doing a lot of different mistakes people are doing. And I just think that people surpass a lot of like super basic things because they just want everything to be done automatically. Everybody's searching for this perfect formula that somebody can tell them like, do this and this. There is no perfect formula. There's so many different product categories. I mean, if you're selling Bugs Bunny cover, you're not going to have the same strategy if you're selling a tire for your car, or some motor equipment or something like that. So just take your time and do your research, and this will save you a lot of time and money in future, even though you don't think like that. And as you said, Alex, like there's so many other experts that think the same way, and I just think this is the right way to go. I'm not saying that you should not use any tools, but I'm just saying that this is like vox populi. Like this is what you get. These are your potential buyers, and these are the people who will tell you like, we like this or we hate this. Can we go to the next slide?
Of course.
Okay, so these are some of the statistics that happened like this year only. Of course, we're all affected by COVID, and COVID changed so many things in our lives, of course, especially the way we shop and how we live. And if you look closer to this little chart, Spain has been rising 13.5%, and Italy 14%. I mean, these are massive numbers. I mean, if you compare this to Germany, which is only like 7%, this is basically double. So they double their e-commerce penetration, and a lot of more people are living online. Maybe the ones who did not even understand the e-commerce culture are buying stuff online now. And the important thing to remember is that I remember that earlier we got like a lot of requests for Germany and UK. Everybody wants just to do that. Maybe France, some of the people who know that they're going to do well. But now people especially want to focus on Spain and Italy, because I think everybody sees an increase in demand of all sorts of products over there. So now when we get like a client, they're like, I want to do everything. And we get like people that haven't had any presence in Spain, saying like, I want to do like my 20 aces on Spain only, or Italy only.
Yeah.
So this is like a change in, a nature of selling in Europe, where a lot of more people want to go there because they see increase in demand. So Spain and Italy are definitely going to be on a lookout for Q1 2021, definitely, because this trend is, I just think it's going to just continue rising, We can go to the next slide. Cool. So when talking about marketplaces outside of Europe, which could be potentially very interesting, I like to talk about Amazon UAE. So it has a population of 9.89 million. It's the Amazon bought this marketplace Souk from Amazon. So they got like all the traffic and everything what was before, but it's still dominated by this website called noon.com, because they have better delivery options. So I think if Amazon steps up their game on the shipping and the faster delivery, they can definitely, go big in UAE, especially out of a couple of reasons. So UAE, like people over there, they're mainly expats. It's like 70% of country are expats. And these are people who come and go. They travel, they change places, they change apartments. So they need, for instance, a lot of furnishings and home decor. They rent their places, but they want to furnish them. I also have a best friend in Dubai, and she told me also, like, you rent an empty apartment. It's rarely that somebody rents an apartment with like fully furnished apartment. And then if you go and then the brands and people love the brands over there, it's quite expensive. So people would want a really good deal for like hundreds of dirhams, which is a currency over there less. I think people would buy something that they're offered. And of course, being expats, and so like you don't have a fortune to spend on your apartment. And this just backs up what I'm saying, because like if you go on Amazon.ae and if you go like under home decor, you're gonna have like 500 products only. But if you go to the US marketplace, you have like 10,000 of those. If you go to Europe, you have like thousands of products under this category. It's a very popular category. But UAE has like only 526 by at that point in time, like last month when they checked this. So this is a potentially very, very good category if you're selling something sort of home decor to offer to these people. They also like have an FBA. And it's very interesting that this certain category, which is something which is at high demand, does not have that many products, which means you don't have that many competitors. And when it comes to language, they speak Arabic over there. There's no keyword research, but it really depends on who you want to target. If you want to target expats, you should just use English. If you want to target like maybe domestic population, or just just do the Arabic, you should use the Arabic language. But I would suggest, that if you want to go there, you can start with English and then see how it goes. Maybe if you're not happy with the results, then you can have it translated. But I would go with English, and I would definitely focus on that. And I would focus on US English, not the UK, because their ties are more connected to the States than they are to the UK. So I would just definitely use, like in terms of like keywords and stuff, like what people are searching for in the US, definitely.
Cool.
We can go to the next slide.
Very interesting market. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So Amazon Singapore is very, very, very important for Amazon. And it's a very small country, a very small population, but e-commerce penetration is like insane. I think it can even go over 73%, which I wrote here, because these were results in 2019 when there was no COVID. So I think like it definitely went over 75%, because Singaporeans, they love to shop online. They're super rich, they're very wealthy. And what's very important for Amazon is that they are a gateway to Southeast Asia. So this marketplace is super important for them, because this is how you enter this part of the world. And that's why they really think it's a very valuable marketplace, and they really want to take care of people who are selling over there. Also, like a lot of things for your home, like kitchen appliances, smart home products. Home organization is also a very, very good category for the Singaporean marketplace, because people over there, they live in a very, very small apartments, usually like with no balconies and stuff. And you really want to have some like a home organization, help around there, some hacks, some extra drawers, maybe like a shoe closet that folds up or something similar to that. That's very interesting for people living over there, because it's very practical. Also sports equipment, they also love a lot of playing sports. And you don't have to translate your listing to any language, because English is the official language. But unlike UAE, I would focus on UK English over here, because also of their historical ties to the UK, being the UK colony and all. So I would definitely use UK keywords and stuff that they're people using over there. But Singaporean marketplace has been more and more interesting in the last 6 months to a lot of people. Earlier, we haven't had anyone that's selling on in Singapore, but right now we've had a lot of people that really want to go there, and just like specifically Singaporean marketplace. So this should be also good for a lookout, definitely.
Okay.
We can go to the next one.
Let's go.
Cool. And the third one in that part of the world, like Saudi Arabia, it's 3 times bigger than UAE. And Amazon is like, they're just like saying that that could be the next big thing, because it's so huge, and people have like really high living standard, and they can afford a lot of things. I personally don't know anybody who's selling on Saudi Arabia, but I think this could be potentially very big for the next year. Amazon languages are also like English or Arabic. Also, like they have a lot of people hired by oil companies, coming from all over the world to work there. But Arabic is different than the Arabic in UAE. It's also like, comparing, Mexican Spanish and European Spanish. Like you have to have different translations because of all of the different words they're using. Maybe they have, different sayings. So it's very important to keep, if you want to do the translation, you really want to use the right Arabic variant of the language as well. Okay, we can go to the next one. So yeah, so what's next in the store that Amazon would give us as like, some new opportunity we could use? As I said, Amazon Sweden is already announced. I'll be talking about that in a couple of minutes. Amazon Poland and Amazon Czech Republic have also been scheduled for this year. We have our Amazon inside info about this, but this has been pushed back to 2021. And this was just a matter of time, because, when you register for Pan-European program, you also have to register for VAT in Poland and Czech Republic, which a lot of people was, wondering for a long time, like, why do I have to do that? But, it was quite obvious that, Amazon has some plans with these 2 countries. And I think that these could be potentially, like 3 really, really big things hitting Europe definitely next year. And hopefully we're going to see, PPC rolling out for the Dutch marketplace. I think this is definitely going to help scale some businesses over there. people, as I said, are very disappointed in having just a few sales. But I think that a lot of times, you just have to wait for a certain marketplace to show its full potential, and definitely Amazon has not been helping with that this year. So let's talk a little bit more about Sweden and how things look over there. We can go to the next slide.
Okay.
Cool. So Amazon chose Sweden out of very, logical reasons. So Sweden, it's the third largest country. It doesn't have, so many people, only 9.6 million, but they have 8.24 billion in online sales. This is a huge number. Also, they have some of the very famous online stores like IKEA, H&M, Nelly. I'm pretty sure every single person bought something from some of these stores once in their lives. And it's very interesting that Sweden has like this very specific e-commerce culture. Basically, the whole Scandinavia has a really specific e-commerce culture, and people are very much used to shopping online, and they have like a variety of stores. Of course, the most popular product categories in Sweden are clothing and footwear, of course, beauty. They have a lot of very amazing beauty products, and of course, furniture. I mean, which is popular. No wonder, because of IKEA. So they have a lot of really big online stores. And usually, like when Amazon launched the Dutch marketplace, it took them around 6 months to just be fully online. And I think that this is also what's going to happen to Sweden. So I think somewhere like in February, we're going to have like a fully functional Swedish website. Now I think what's very important for Amazon is like to win over, consumers' hearts. Because I think that what they can do this is like with low prices and fast deliveries, because they're going to have a lot of competitors in Sweden. It's not like when Amazon came to Germany, they were basically, Amazon was like the only of its kind, and they had like some certain prestige, and people went wild over Amazon. But here they will have to compete with a lot of different brands. So it's gonna be very interesting, but it's a very good marketplace. I have a lot of friends in Sweden who called me and they told me like, wow, Amazon is coming to Sweden. It was kind of a big deal for a lot of people, especially for the Scandinavia, because now they'll be buying from there and not from Germany. And it's very interesting that they already have one of the warehouses over there. It's in Eskilstuna, which is close to Stockholm. This is it's confirmed. And also there are going to be 24 categories available on this marketplace, so not all of them, but I guess they'll be rolling out slowly. Vendor is 100% guaranteed. Inventory in Sweden means Swedish VAT. Also, they don't use euros, they use Swedish crowns. And of course, and for the beginning, it's going to be like 100,000 threshold long distance selling. And seller fulfilled prime also will be available, which is super, super important. So this is a potentially great marketplace. And I think, if Amazon rolls out the PPC, unlike what they did with the Dutch marketplace, this could be like one of the leading marketplaces in Europe. As I said, Scandinavia is hungry for new e-commerce, new marketplaces. They have this special e-commerce culture. So this is really going to be very interesting to see like how this unfolds with Amazon. But I really have a good feeling for this marketplace.
Great. Thank you for sharing all this info. You have made a great job to collect all of the information.
Yeah, I mean, I really always want to be, especially when it comes to international sales, I really need to, be on top of my game, Yeah. And I'm really happy when people hear a lot of information from me, like firsthand, because we really, try to always be like updated. And, I talk to a lot of people in the community. Sometimes, some sellers have like amazing infos, and I like to, always share what I've learned with them. And I just think Amazon community is really great because we can always kind of help each other. Like you can always like join a group or like a Facebook group asking for like, hey, what did you think was going to happen? Or how do I solve this problem? And people will help you out. This is also what I noticed even before I started, doing the whole agency thing. I think it's good. And I think like whenever you have a question, you should definitely ask. I'm pretty sure somebody will help you in, just answering or what they know from their own experience. Now, Amazon Poland is very interesting. It's a huge country. It has 38 million people, so this is just like a very super large population, and the online sales have been close to 12 billion euros. 77% of people are internet users. That's a lot for such a big country, and the Polish e-commerce is basically, like they home garden, sports hobbies, clothing. I mean, clothing is a really tricky category, but home and garden and sports and hobbies are very big in Poland on all of their e-commerce marketplaces. And e-commerce is accounted for around 4% of all retail sales in the country, which is a lot. So people love shopping online. And a very interesting thing is that they have 12,000 online stores. And Allegro.pl is probably like one of the most very popular leading Polish e-commerces, with 40 million users in homeland. And very interesting thing is that if you take like top 10 worldwide marketplaces, you're gonna have Allegro in top 10 of those. So it means that they're just doing like insane, like regards of e-commerce. And Allegro is just behind Shopee, which is a Singaporean marketplace, very worldly well known, and Tmall, a Chinese one. So, they're up with the big players, which means that 40 million people are spending their money on Allegro.pl, and that's a lot of people and a lot of sales, definitely. And so I see a great potential in Poland, and Amazon has not, I know Germany is close to Poland. So when people order, from the warehouse, they probably, they can get it in a really short time. But I think that it's also important for Amazon to go to this part of Europe and to just open a fulfillment center also over there, because it's also a very good position for overall, like everywhere in Europe, to distribute the products. Also, a very interesting fact is I'm pretty sure a lot of you know Zalando, right? It's also like a very famous e-commerce web shop. And Zalando actually this year decided to expand to Poland, Sweden, and Spain. So these are three new countries that they added to their shopping spree and to their marketplaces. And so basically, I mentioned also that Spain has been increasing in e-commerce penetration so much. And I also think that Zalando also recognized this, and also Poland and Sweden being added to the countries where they sell and have their own marketplace. It's quite interesting how they decided to add these three countries, and then you have Amazon saying, hello, this is what we are going to do. So there are some good reasons why Poland, Sweden, and Spain are added to Zalando. And I think, like Zalando is definitely one step ahead of Amazon, because they're just, they probably knew all these numbers and figures, and they just like decided that this is going to be very, very good for them to expand to there. And also, as I said, like, so they were not present in Spain, because Spain was not that interested in like e-commerce, but now e-commerce is booming, and so they decided also to go there. So that's also something to think about. We can go to the next slide. Okay, and the last country is Czech Republic. So Czech Republic is the country that had the fastest growing e-commerce market in Europe. This year, they have increased their e-commerce revenue in 16%. So this is more than other countries in Europe, more than Spain, more than Italy, and probably, I think, like a couple of European countries combined, they give the growth in Czech Republic in e-commerce. And I think that this is a very, very potentially good marketplace. I think people are hungry for e-commerce over there. They still use cash. They use, pay on delivery still. But I think that, they're ready for a change. And this is something that I'm really curious to see how it unfolds. When Amazon comes, I think they will have to change the way they're living and their habits. And I mean, due to COVID, unfortunately, I think this will be very well, accepted as the way of, living, definitely. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we are yet to see this. But Czech Republic should be also something which should be very interesting in future, definitely 2021.
Wonderful.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. That was great. Thank you. I didn't have questions. I was just listening and listening, thinking, where did you get all the info? That's a very
well, I know people who know people.
Thank you. So your idea is what, as I understood, you offer people to look to other markets, to not only the main Amazon markets, but go and look what's happening new. Because of course,
Yes,
if the Swedish market opens in February and you are one of the first there, then you'll probably have the highest sales rank. If you'll join in 2-3 years, then probably it will be already difficult to compete, right?
absolutely. And also, as I said, as I mentioned at the beginning, more and more people are selling on Amazon. Everybody wants to get there. They know that you can earn some money like that. And it's going to be more and more difficult to stay competitive on the on like on the biggest marketplaces, because everybody wants to go there. So if everybody goes to Germany, like, you should definitely also be present there, but then you should expand to other marketplaces before your competitors got there. And I also think that definitely like newcomers will definitely be hitting the main marketplaces, like as I said, Germany, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you just kind of be ahead of the game and be like, okay, I'm gonna do others, especially if you're registered for pan-European program. Like, what's stopping you? Like it definitely it's available for you to ship elsewhere. But I'm just saying that you should like we need to. I think this year also, like what they taught us, like you need to think ahead. You need to be like, okay, so everybody is going to be doing this now. How do I differentiate, and how do I scale my business a little bit differently? And this is what I said about mentioning like business plan and similar things, because you need to know like how do you want to scale your business, where are you doing this, like where are you taking this, and now especially with seeing the insane increase at Amazon sellers, you really, I think more than ever is a good idea to go and expand to other marketplaces. Also seeing how the e-commerce penetration has increased immensely on all of the other marketplaces.
We've got a question asking, what about France? What's happening with France?
Well, France, I mean, nothing new is happening with France. France has been, after Germany, a good marketplace, and they haven't changed anything over there. So, I mean, it's still going good. I mean, you should sell in France, definitely, but it's been stable as Germany was. Nothing specially happened or changed in Germany, nor in France. They're like strong marketplaces. France is right after Germany, so it's always a good idea to sell there. The only thing that's changed was with Spain and Italy and other like smaller marketplaces that are, like just getting closer to Germany and France, definitely.
Okay, wonderful. So maybe one last suggestion, your idea for everybody, how to be successful nowadays in online marketing, in online sales.
Well, I just, I also, I talked about this already, but I really just think it's super important to don't like do any crazy things with your listings and your products like the last minute. Don't lose your ranking for your keywords. Don't stop running your PPC campaigns, and always think ahead. Think of a really good business plan. Don't go selling without double checking everything, without thinking a little bit in future. It can lead to so many big disasters, and from some of them you would not be able to recover, and you'll be losing money, which is something nobody needs during this time. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jana. So everybody who needs the best translation of their listings, please contact Jana, send her an email, and she will answer you and help you to boost your sales. Everybody.
Also, like, I think you should definitely like our Facebook page, YLT Translations, because
Okay.
I mean, if you like the, some of the information I was giving out today, we tend to, like every now and then we put like the really interesting updates about everything regarding Amazon, especially when it comes to international sales. We get some like really good info, so we like to share that with our audience.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so everybody who needs help with logistics and fulfillment all over the Europe, please don't be shy, contact us and we will be glad to help you. Stay tuned. Every Thursday, we've got wonderful webinars, WAPI community, register, and see you next Thursday.
Perfect. Thank you so much for
Thank you
tuning in,
very much,
guys.
Jana. Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend. Thank you, Alex, for
You
having me.
too.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.